Welkom by die derde dag van die MDDK Eisteddfod. Vandag het ons twee baie besondere beoordelaars hier by ons en hulle doen die stiller weergawe van die Eisteddfod, die visuele kunste. Hier langs my, beautiful Emma Thompson. She was our adjudicator for art en dan het ons ook vir Derius Erasmus. Hy doen die fotografie vir ons hierdie jaar. Right, you two very welcome. Welkom op die plaas.
Thank you for having us.
Dis lekker om julle hier te hê. Die hele paar vrae vir julle. So kom ons vra die eerste vraag en dan kyk ons waar gaan dit. Okay, so Emma, what age did you fall in love with art?
Zanel, I think like most children, probably when I could pick up a crayon, so maybe 4 or 5. And I was lucky, very lucky, both my parents are artists. My dad's a skilderkunstenaar and my mother's a pottenbakker. So they were always very, very encouraging, and we were lucky. We always had everything at home that we could play with and create.
Ja, vertel my van sy skerm.
Sy skilderkunstenaar.
What is that?
It's a silkscreen printer. So t-shirts, basically t-shirts, banners, anything that you can. I can't find something on us now, but basically, so he did graphic design, and then he ran his own company for many years in Pretoria, and he actually in his 70s is still printing.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And then what do you do now as an artist?
I do a range of medium. I do oil painting and etching, which is another type of printing. So sy skilderkunstenaar is more to do with fabric ink. And then etching has got to do with carving and printing through a printing press. And then I do a lot of ink as well.
Am I allowed to ask you what your favorite is?
I know, it depends on the day.
Okay, so
Yes.
let's not go there.
No, let's not go there. It's difficult to choose.
Okay, Derius, jy is 'n kameraman, so as ek vir jou vra, kamera of selfoon, wat sê jy vir my?
Ek gaan vir jou sê, when in doubt, use both. Dis wat my antwoord altyd is. The best answer is always the camera you have on you. The moment is sometimes more important. Obviously, if you're going to do a job and you're getting paid for it, you want to obviously use your nice camera or a bigger cameras. But each camera has got its own specialities and its own functionality. So I don't say either or. You use your normal camera and then maybe a second angle you use your cell phone. Or if you only have a cell phone, then your cell phone is just as good. And you can do quite a lot these days with the technology we've got on the phones.
Okay, so as ek nou 'n beginner is en ek het nou 'n selfoon en ek's nou moeg vir hom, moet ek nou die duurste grootste kamera gaan koop of hoe?
Nee, jy kan deesdae, dis wat lekker is van ons tegnologie, oral heeltyd nuwe modelle uitkom. Daar's so baie tweedehands vir 'n baie goeie prys. En die tweedehands is net so goed. 'n Kamera van 2019 of 2020 of 2015 selfs is 'n baie goeie kamera nog steeds. Wel, my kamera wat ek vir 'n lewe skiet kom oorspronklik van 2008 af. My kamera is 15 jaar oud, maar hy was die professionele kamera van daai tyd, so maar dit wys jou, hy kan tot nou meer as 10 jaar later is hy nog steeds goed genoeg om te gebruik word. Ek moet juist nou 'n bietjie upgrade, maar soos ek sê die tool is net 'n tool. Dit is it's the paintbrush in Picasso's hand, doesn't matter what paintbrush he used. It's what he done with it. So yeah, you can do a lot with a very basic camera. It's the art it's much more than just a tool.
Ja, so gepraat van Picasso, terug by jou Emma. Dink jy kuns is 'n talent of is dit 'n vaardigheid? Is it a skill? Is it a talent? Is it both?
So now when you were 5, did you think you were an artist?
I absolutely did.
So?
But it was on the wall in the kitchen and my dad didn't think so.
But I'm sure your mom kept something for your fridge.
Yeah, she did.
Yes. So my point is, I think everyone's an artist. I genuinely believe that. Obviously, some people get more encouragement and more training. But I think anybody with a good teacher and a love for learning can be taught to paint or draw or be creative.
I agree as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. So if I now decide I want to be an artist one day,
Yes.
how long before I can call myself a proper artist?
So now I struggle
How long
to
is a piece
call.
of string?
Or is there such a thing as a proper artist?
I struggle to call myself a proper artist. So I think it depends.
No, you never stop growing, you never stop
Yeah.
learning, and you're never going to be the artist or the performer or whatever you think you're going to be, because you're always evolving, and the goal is always shifting and it's always moving, and it's supposed to. It's creativity. So every morning it's different. Different goals and different. But you can learn a lot. It depends on how enthusiastic you are.
And a lot of great artists only were acknowledged as great artists long after their death. If you think about Van Gogh and a couple of other, Van Gogh's most obvious one, but they have these beautiful, amazing retrospective exhibitions that they didn't even realize. So I think it's about being true to yourself, being passionate, wanting to learn, wanting to create. I met a lady in Pretoria this weekend. She's 87. Yeah. She's still printing, and she has a huge printing press that she literally has to use a leg and her arm to get around.
Oh, wow.
And she said to me her advice was just keep going.
And she still has the strength to move.
She still has the strength, and she's still creating. And so I don't think you've ever arrived.
No, you never arrive. It's about the journey, as they say.
That's fabulous.
No, it is fabulous.
Tell me about your current journey with photography.
My current journey with photography is, I'm finally at a place after about 10 years of living off Weet-Bix and oranges, struggling, and finally at a place where I can at least pay my bills, at least. So where I've got enough knowledge and experience to do enough jobs that are on a corporate enough level where I can actually make a living out of it. It's still it's still an artist living. Like I don't have kids or family or anything like that. So it's a very basic lifestyle, but it supports. But you can, and most of my photography friends as well, they're always to get to a point where you can make a living out of it, and it's more or less where I am now. So it's the next phase. It's always changing. So as I said, it's about a year or two in advance. You maybe have some plans, but I'm now at the phase where I want to maybe travel a bit more. I'm doing some stuff in Gauteng with some broadcasting with the video as well. But then also just here locally. I've only been in Limpopo for the last 5 years. Moved back after growing up here. So establishing a bit more client base on this side. I'm doing a lot of lodges and that type of thing here in Limpopo. So it's the next chapter after the first 10-year chapter.
So jy het 'n baie wêreld.
Ja, baie wêreld. Van die eerste helfte was maar meer in Gauteng. Ek was meer as 10 jaar in Gauteng gewees en baie in die stad geskiet. En ek skiet nog steeds daar. I still go to Gauteng at least once a month or once every 2 months or so. Then I go for about a week or so to see if I can organize 2 photo shoots. Go visit some old friends and go do some corporates there, and then
dit klink so lekker.
Then I drive back to Limpopo and then
take a deep breath.
Sit here on the farm and edit all the city photos and then
Een laaste vraag vir jou. Die foto wat jy nog eendag wil neem, wat jy nog nie geneem het nie.
Yo, it has to be Namibia. Probably the one border country of our neighboring countries that I haven't visited. I've been to Mozambique and Zimbabwe a few times, but Namibia, there's something graphic and visual about Namibia. There's so much art about Namibia, and anyway you can just go. But I just want to go experience it for myself. Go experience the dunes. I want to go way to the north and see the bushveld and the different. There's so much different variety of. And rock formations and civilizations and people, and so it's a different world that is on my doorstep. So that's why it's on my list. So it's very, very doable and very possible. Besides the other stuff all over the world, but Namibia is just So save up a few photo shoots and then do a road trip and then go see what's there to shoot.
Dis 'n vliegtuigkaartjie.
Yeah, no, you do with the car. No, drive.
Yeah.
Okay, Emma, let me ask you something about the Eisteddfod now. You've seen many of the artworks. We have over 90 artworks in the exhibition this year. What do you think of the talent?
I always love seeing, especially what the juniors do, because there's such joy and confidence there, and they haven't become self-critical or self-aware yet. So it's just very beautiful and joyful. And then with the seniors, I'm always impressed that they have the time for something to just pour themselves into, and you can see for some of them this is their own world. This is the world that they need, and it's the world that they're happy in. And I think nowadays, with everything that's thrown at you in terms of the world and how busy and hectic everything is, and it's just beautiful to see that they have a space where they can be creative and just express themselves a little bit. So that's.
You think it's important to express yourself through art? You think?
I'm not sure about expressing. That's such a little bit of a label, and then often what happens is you get into a bit of a conflict with the student because they're going, I'm expressing myself, and you're going, no, you need to upskill, you need to be better at this. But I think what's very important is getting into a state of flow. And I think having that moment of peace and creativity where you can express yourself in terms of being authentic and just finding those moments of peace and just being centered and grounded, because I think our world's quite crazy.
It is
And especially with everything that teenagers are dealing with, I think art is really important, especially something so tactile.
Right, last question for the both of you. In a world of AI, is there still a space for artists and photographers?
I think it's even more important.
I think I was about to say, I think the AI is going to be more of a blessing for artists.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a real artist that makes real art with your hands. Because it's just going to add the value to it. It's going to make it more valuable.
Absolutely.
Because human beings will also, we saw it now with music as well, with the music side. Human beings would also always want to see other human beings do something amazing. And if people, the AI stuff is functional. It will corporate side. The artists won't do as many corporate stuff anymore because it's free, and it's going to take a lot of work away. But it's also the artists that are already, especially if you're already established, and for the new artists that want to get into it, do art with your hands. Then it will always have value.
So
it will never.
So real art will never die.
And I think finding if you're authentic and original, you still will be authentic and original, and people respond to that. And I know AI is developing very quickly, but I do think eventually your original voice will shine through.
Okay.
Yeah, art is emotion after all. Art is emotion that is put in a form so that you can share it with other people. So whether it's a painting or a song or a photograph or a movie, it's and real emotion is something that maybe the AI would be able to eventually show a sad photo or something, but people would much rather the real person that's connected to that image will have more value, and the emotion will have more value, and the relatability of you as a viewer to that emotion would always have much more value when it's human to human, I think. So.
Well, maybe the rarer something becomes, the more valuable it becomes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Famous last words. What do you want to say to the participants for this year, Emma?
What I was told this weekend, just keep going. Don't stop drawing, don't stop painting.
It's I would say it's anything you do, it's especially all creative, it's like climbing a ladder, and your guys are at the bottom now, and it doesn't matter what age you are, but we all climb the same ladder, we all have to do the same little steps, and that ladder it doesn't have an ending. It just goes all the way to heaven, and you're going to climb it till the day you die, and you're going to get a little bit better, and you're going to keep learning and keep learning, and then all of a sudden then it's done.
And that's what makes it exciting.
And it's always going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Right, baie dankie vir julle twee.
Thank you, Zanel.
Welkom hier op die plaas weer eens, en ons is baie bly jy was hier. En dankie vir almal wat saam met ons gekyk het vandag.